They proclaimed it impossible. They dismissed it as mere fantasy, outright delusion, time and time again throughout the annals of human endeavor. Consider the audacity of believing a heavier-than-air machine could soar, defying gravity, when every logical mind of the era declared it absurd. Think of the preposterous notion of sending a man to the moon, a distant orb in the vast cosmic ocean, a concept that for centuries was confined solely to the realm of myth and poets' dreams. Reflect on the seemingly magical interconnectedness of minds across continents, instantaneously sharing information, a vision that, not long ago, would have been branded as witchcraft or madness. Yet, these, and countless other monumental achievements of humankind, every innovation that fundamentally reshaped our world, every triumph over what was universally accepted as insurmountable originated in one solitary, unseen location. It did not spring fully formed from a bustling laboratory, nor was it forged on the anvil of a grand battlefield. Its genesis was far more subtle, infinitely more powerful. It began directly within the silent, boundless theater of the human mind. Pause now, truly pause, and reflect upon this profound truth. What if the most formidable, the most potent instrument at your disposal, your very own innate faculty of imagination, has been systematically relegated to the mundane? What if it has been squandered on insignificant thoughts, on the cultivation of doubts, on the rehearsal of failures, when its true, inherent purpose is to fundamentally reconstruct and elevate your entire existence? Have you inadvertently allowed this divine capacity to be hijacked by the trivial, to be dominated by the dictates of everyday circumstance, rather than commanding it to sculpt your desired future? This is not merely a philosophical question. It is an urgent inquiry into the very architecture of your potential. For too long, imagination has been misunderstood, trivialized, reduced to a childish pastime or a fleeting escape. We are taught to be realistic, to ground ourselves in what is, rather than exploring the boundless realm of what could be. But what if this very teaching, this pervasive societal conditioning, is the single greatest impediment to your prosperity, your happiness, your ultimate fulfillment? What if the difference between a life of quiet desperation and one of resounding achievement lies not in circumstance, not in luck, but in the conscious, deliberate, and masterful application of this internal power? Consider the implications. If all great inventions, all societal advancements, all personal breakthroughs begin as an imagined concept, then what are you creating or failing to create with the relentless stream of images and scenarios you entertain in your mind each day? Are you building towering cathedrals of success, or are you constructing prisons of limitation? This faculty is not passive. It is an active, generative force. It is the very soil in which the seeds of your destiny are sown. The quality of the harvest is entirely dependent upon the quality of the seed and the intention with which you cultivate it. Today, we shall embark upon a profound journey. We will strip away the conventional veils that obscure understanding and unearth Napoleon Hill's ultimate, most profound, and perhaps most often misunderstood secret regarding this incredible power. We will delve, not superficially, but deeply into the profound essence of imagination. This is not about conjuring fanciful dreams that dissipate with the morning light. No. This is about understanding and wielding it, not as a fleeting daydream, but as the undeniable master key. A key forged in the crucible of absolute conviction, designed, specifically intended to unlock the precise life you have only ever dared to envision. It is time to reclaim this inherent power, to understand its mechanics, and to direct its immense energy with the precision of a master architect towards the creation of your highest purpose. This is not merely an exercise in thought. It is the fundamental act of creation. Having grappled with the radical notion that imagination shapes our reality, we now turn our gaze to a discovery so profound it redefines human potential. Napoleon Hill, the indefatigable researcher who meticulously dissected the lives and minds of over 500 of the most successful individuals his era produced, was not merely an observer. He was a mental cartographer, charting the unseen territories of human consciousness, mapping the intricate pathways to accumulated wealth and enduring achievement. His work was not a compilation of anecdotal evidence. It was a scientific exploration into the very mechanics of thought and manifestation, a relentless pursuit of the immutable laws governing success. What he uncovered regarding imagination transcends common understanding, elevates it beyond a mere mental faculty. Hill concluded with unwavering certainty that imagination is far more than the simple ability to form mental images. He revealed it as nothing less than the sixth sense. Consider the implications of such a declaration. We readily acknowledge sight, hearing, touch, taste, and smell as our primary means of perceiving the physical world. But what about the world beyond the tangible? What about the realm of ideas, of inspiration, of future possibilities that have yet to coalesce into physical form? It is through this sixth sense, this faculty of imagination, that the subconscious mind, that boundless reservoir of past experiences and dormant power, communicates directly with what Hill termed infinite intelligence. This is not a fanciful metaphor. This is a precise, functional description of a vital sensory organ, one that perceives and translates non-physical information into actionable thought. Most people view imagination as a recreational function, a pleasant diversion, or perhaps a tool for problem-solving within existing parameters. They fail to grasp its true, profound nature as the very conduit through which original thought enters the conscious mind. It is the antenna, tuned to the universal broadcast of ideas, concepts, and solutions that exist in an etheric dimension. Are you listening? Are you actively engaging this receiving station, or have you allowed it to remain dormant, static-filled, oblivious to the profound insights it can capture? Hill's work compels us to confront this question with brutal honesty. Imagine your conscious mind as a finite radio receiver, capable of processing only a limited spectrum of frequencies. Yet, through this sixth sense of imagination, you possess the capacity to tune into an infinitely broader range, connecting with a boundless source of wisdom and creative energy. This is not some abstract spiritual concept reserved for mystics. This is the practical mechanism employed consciously or unconsciously by every individual who has ever brought a new invention into existence, launched a successful enterprise, or composed a timeless masterpiece. They were, in essence, operating as receiving stations, their imaginations acting as the bridge between the finite realm of human thought and the infinite wellspring of cosmic energy. Hill emphasized that imagination is the only link, the singular point of interface between your individual, finite human thought and this boundless, inexhaustible source of infinite intelligence. It acts as both a receiving and a transmitting station. You perceive, you interpret, and crucially, you transmit your desires, your intentions, your definite chief aim back into this infinite field. Do you recognize the immense responsibility this places upon your mental discipline? Every thought you entertain, every image you cultivate, every desire you hold with persistence is being broadcast. What signal are you sending? What intelligence are you inviting into your life through this most powerful yet often neglected of your senses? The mastery of this sixth sense is not an option for those who seek extraordinary achievement. It is an absolute prerequisite. Having now grasped the profound nature of imagination as a sixth sense, a direct conduit to infinite intelligence, we must now dissect its operational mechanics. Many mistakenly believe imagination to be a singular amorphous capacity, a nebulous field of fleeting thoughts. But Hill, in his meticulous research, unveiled a crucial distinction, revealing that this formidable power operates through what can best be described as a dual engine, each with a distinct function, yet inextricably linked in the grand design of achievement. Your mind, then, is not merely a wish shop where vague desires are idly entertained. It is a sophisticated workshop, equipped with two powerful engines, ready for deliberate, purposeful construction. Consider first the engine of synthetic imagination. This is the assembler, the craftsman of your mental workshop. Its function is not to create something entirely new from nothing, but rather to take existing concepts, facts, ideas, and experiences, and then to arrange them into novel combinations, patterns, and plans. It is the architect drawing a blueprint from established engineering principles, the chef inventing a new dish from known ingredients, the engineer combining existing components to build a new machine. This faculty thrives on what you already know, on the data you have accumulated, the information you have absorbed. When faced with a problem, synthetic imagination diligently sifts through your mental archives, pulling out relevant pieces and attempting to fit them together in a way that resolves the challenge. It is logical, methodical, and incredibly efficient at optimizing existing solutions. However, the true marvel, the wellspring of genuine genius, lies within the engine of creative imagination. This is the breakthrough generator, the divine spark that ignites entirely new ideas, concepts, and inspirations directly from the infinite. This is where the truly unprecedented emerges, where insights that defy conventional logic manifest. It is the artist envisioning a form never before seen, the scientist conceptualizing a theory that overturns existing paradigms, the entrepreneur conceiving a market that never existed. Creative imagination is the realm where the abstract becomes concrete, where the invisible becomes visible, where the seemingly impossible takes its first breath. It is the faculty through which hunches, inspirations, and what some call gut feelings arise, guiding you towards paths previously unconsidered. The critical distinction, and Hill's profound insight, lies not just in recognizing these two types, but in understanding their symbiotic relationship and, more importantly, how to deliberately prime your synthetic imagination to feed and stimulate the creative. Most individuals wait for creative inspiration to strike, hoping for a bolt of lightning to illuminate their path. But the masters of success, the individuals Hill studied, understood that creative imagination, while often appearing spontaneous, can be systematically cultivated and invoked. You do not merely wait for genius, you actively prepare its arrival. How, then, do you orchestrate this mental symphony? You begin by consciously engaging your synthetic imagination. When confronted with a desire or a problem, exhaust all logical avenues. Gather every piece of relevant information. Analyze every existing solution. Break down the components of your desire into its constituent parts. This intensive, systematic engagement of synthetic imagination is not merely about finding a solution. It is about saturating your conscious and subconscious mind with the raw materials. It is like feeding high-quality fuel into the primary engine, building up immense pressure. This sustained, focused effort, this deliberate wrestling with the known, creates a mental vacuum, a fertile ground, within which the seeds of creative inspiration can germinate. It is often at the point of mental exhaustion, after every logical combination has been explored, that the creative imagination, having been primed and agitated by the synthetic process, then bursts forth with an entirely new, often revolutionary, insight. The solution arrives not as a labored construction, but as a sudden flash of understanding, seemingly out of nowhere. But it did not come from nowhere. It emerged from the rigorous preparation, the diligent work of your synthetic imagination, acting as a powerful magnet, drawing in the higher, more original solutions from infinite intelligence. This synergy, this deliberate interplay between the known and the unknown, is the master key to unlocking unparalleled innovation and problem-solving. So, let us engage in a micro-exercise right now to experience this distinction. Take a current challenge in your life, a goal you wish to achieve, or a problem you need to solve. For the next 60 seconds, deliberately engage your synthetic imagination. Brainstorm every known solution, every conventional approach, every idea you have ever encountered that might apply. List them, even mentally, without judgment. Now, having exhausted that logical well, consciously open your mind. Release the grip of what is known. For another 60 seconds, invite thoughts that are entirely new, ideas that might seem outlandish, solutions that defy your current understanding. Allow yourself to consider what doesn't exist yet. Feel the subtle shift, the opening of a different mental channel. This is the deliberate dance between your two powerful engines, a workshop, not a wish shop, actively constructing your future. We have journeyed from understanding imagination as a profound sixth sense, a direct channel to boundless intelligence, to dissecting its dual engines of synthetic and creative thought. Now, with these powerful mental instruments in hand, we must turn to their most crucial application, the forging of your definite chief aim. It is here, at this vital intersection, that raw desire transforms into a meticulously crafted blueprint for reality. Many harbor vague wishes. They dream of wealth, of success, of happiness. But Hill taught us that wishing is a passive act, a whisper in the wind. What is required, what separates the achiever from the dreamer, is the active, relentless process of forging that aim within the searing heat of your own imagination. Your definite chief aim is not merely a goal, it is the burning epicenter of your existence, the singular, unwavering target upon which all your mental energies must converge. It serves as the master plan for your life, the concrete objective towards which every conscious effort is directed. But a mere declaration of intent is insufficient. To truly imbue this aim with the power to manifest, it must be carved, shaped, and hammered into form within the very fabric of your imagination, with an intensity and vividness that makes it more real than your current circumstances. This involves not simply seeing your goal as a distant aspiration, but rather pre-experiencing it with such profound conviction and sensory richness that it becomes an indelible truth already present within your internal world. Most individuals attempt to achieve their goals by focusing primarily on external actions, neglecting the crucial internal preparation. Hill's wisdom redirects us. He understood that the external world is but a mirror reflecting the dominant images held within the mind. Therefore, the true work of manifestation begins by constructing an unshakable, multisensory reality of your desired outcome, precisely within your imaginative faculties. This is where the process of forging truly comes alive. It is not enough to visualize. You must immerse your entire being. Feel the texture of the success in your hands, the solid, tangible proof of its attainment. Hear the sounds of its achievement. The congratulations, the applause, the quiet hum of a well-oiled machine operating perfectly. The laughter of those whose lives you have positively impacted. Taste the victory, the subtle flavor of accomplishment that resonates deep within. Smell the environment of your triumph, the crisp air of achievement, the unique scent of your new surroundings. And most importantly, feel the overwhelming emotions that accompany its realization. The profound joy, the deep satisfaction, the unshakable certainty that it is done. This intense, multisensory immersion is the essence of what Hill referred to as the silent prayer or mental demand. It is not a plea to some external deity for favors, but rather a powerful, unwavering command issued directly to your subconscious mind, the very engine of habit and belief. The subconscious, a loyal servant, does not differentiate between an intensely imagined reality and a physically experienced one. When you repeatedly impress upon it a vivid, emotionally charged image of your definite chief aim as already accomplished, you are providing it with a detailed blueprint, a precise set of instructions for what to manifest. You are commanding it to orchestrate circumstances, attract resources, and inspire the necessary actions to bring that internal reality into physical form. This is the alchemy of thought, the transformation of an idea into tangible matter. Consider the disciplined athlete who mentally runs the race before it begins, feeling the burn, hearing the crowd, crossing the finish line in their mind long before their physical body takes its first stride. Or the inventor who sees the complete device functioning perfectly in their imagination, every gear turning, every circuit firing before a single prototype is built. They are not merely dreaming, they are forging. They are utilizing their imagination as a powerful magnetic force, drawing the necessary elements into their experience. This requires a level of focus, a depth of belief, and a persistence in visualization that few ever truly master. It demands that you live, breathe, and embody your desired future in your inner world until your outer world has no choice but to conform. Now, let us engage this forge within you. Close your eyes, if you are able, or simply direct your inner gaze. Don't just see your goal as a vague image on the horizon. Go further. Allow yourself to feel the texture of it, the solid, undeniable reality of its presence. Hear the sounds that would accompany its achievement. Taste the sweet nectar of victory, uniquely yours. Smell the distinct aroma of your success. But above all, feel the profound rush of emotions, the deep, abiding satisfaction, the utter certainty of accomplishment. Hold this vision with unwavering intent. This is not passive contemplation. This is active creation. This is the moment you begin to truly forge your destiny. We have meticulously explored imagination as a sixth sense, a vital conduit to infinite intelligence, and dissected its dual engines, understanding how to forge a definite chief aim. Yet, even with this potent knowledge, many find their progress stalled, their visions clouded, their will to act diminished. Why? Because there exists a silent, insidious force, an anti-imagination, that actively sabotages your creative power. This force is fear, doubt, and worry. It is crucial to understand that your imagination, this magnificent faculty, is fundamentally neutral. It is an instrument, a powerful lens. It will magnify and manifest whatever images you feed into it, with astonishing fidelity. Most people, tragically, feed it their fears, their uncertainties, their anxieties, day in and day out, unconsciously creating an anti-vision that paralyzes rather than propels. Consider the implications of this neutrality. If you spend your mental energy vividly rehearsing potential failures, imagining worst-case scenarios, dwelling on past mistakes, or constantly anticipating rejection, your imagination dutifully begins to construct that very reality. It is not judging. It is simply executing the commands it receives. This is not a mystical curse. It is a fundamental principle of mental operation. The negative imaginings you entertain become the blueprints for your subconscious mind, leading it to attract circumstances, inspire actions, and even trigger physiological responses that align perfectly with the very things you desperately wish to avoid. Your creative power, meant for building empires, is instead commandeered to erect prisons of limitation, brick by brick, thought by negative thought. This pervasive misdirection of imaginative power is why a profound emphasis must be placed on what we might term mental hygiene. Just as you carefully select the food you put into your body, you must exercise even greater vigilance over the thoughts and images you permit to enter and take root in your mind. The conscious filtering of negative inputs is not merely a suggestion. It is a non-negotiable imperative for anyone seeking to master their destiny. This means actively guarding against the insidious influence of limiting beliefs, discouraging conversations, and any form of media that fosters doubt, cynicism, or despair. It means consciously choosing to replace disempowering images with empowering ones, to substitute visions of scarcity with blueprints of abundance, to exchange the narrative of failure with the story of triumphant success. It is not enough to simply create. You must also diligently regulate what you allow in, for what you permit to occupy your mental space will inevitably shape your reality. Napoleon Hill, with his characteristic pragmatism, did not merely identify this problem, he prescribed a powerful counter-strategy: the fear-busting imagination exercise. This is not a passive affirmation. It is a specific, ritualistic practice designed to consciously dismantle the negative mental constructs that hold you captive. When a fear arises, when doubt clouds your vision, when worry begins to grip your mind, you do not simply ignore it or try to suppress it. That merely sends it deeper into the subconscious. Instead, you confront it directly, acknowledge its presence, and then, with deliberate intent, you engage your imagination to replace it. Here is the essence of Hill's counter-strategy. Pinpoint the exact negative outcome you are imagining. Feel the unease, the anxiety it generates. Then, immediately and forcefully, replace that image with an equally vivid, emotionally charged, and completely opposite positive outcome. If you imagine failing a presentation, instantly replace it with a scene of you delivering it flawlessly, receiving enthusiastic applause, and feeling immense satisfaction. If you imagine a financial setback, flood your mind with images of financial abundance, solutions appearing, and prosperity flowing effortlessly. The key is the intensity and consistency of this replacement. You must deliberately, consciously, and repeatedly impress the positive image upon your subconscious until the emotional charge of the negative one begins to dissipate, until the very feeling of fear gives way to a surge of confidence and certainty. This is a mental battle, a continuous re-education of your subconscious mind. It is a testament to your willpower, a demonstration of your commitment to self-mastery. Each time you successfully replace a negative imagining with a positive one, you are not just alleviating a moment of anxiety. You are actively rewiring your neural pathways, strengthening your creative imagination, and weakening the grip of the anti-imagination. You are demonstrating to your own mind who is truly in command. It is through this diligent, persistent practice of mental hygiene, this conscious redirection of your imaginative power, that you transform your inner landscape, effectively eliminating the very mental barriers that prevent the manifestation of your definite chief aim. Do you possess the discipline to stand guard at the gates of your mind, ensuring that only thoughts conducive to your highest good are permitted entry? The answer to that question will profoundly dictate the quality of your future. Having recognized how fear and doubt can hijack our imaginative power, we now ascend to an even higher level of conscious creation, one that amplifies individual imagination exponentially. Your individual imagination, a formidable force in itself, possesses the capacity to sculpt your personal reality. But what happens when multiple, highly charged imaginations are brought into harmonious concert, unified by a single burning purpose? Hill's timeless wisdom reveals that a shared imagination is not merely additive, it is geometric, creating a synergistic force capable of achieving feats far beyond the scope of any single mind. This is the profound principle of the mastermind, viewed specifically through the lens of amplified imagination. The mastermind principle, as distilled by Hill from his observations of the world's most successful individuals, is elegantly simple, yet profoundly powerful. The coordination of knowledge and effort of two or more people who work toward a definite purpose in a spirit of harmony. While often understood in terms of combined knowledge and resources, its most potent yet frequently overlooked aspect lies in the synergy of imaginative thought it unlocks. When minds, aligned by a common, definite chief aim, convene in a spirit of absolute harmony, a third invisible mind is said to be created, a collective consciousness far superior in imaginative power to any of its constituent parts. Imagine a single artist conceiving a masterpiece in solitude. Their vision is limited by their individual experience, their unique perspective. Now envision a collective of artists, each a master in their own right, pooling their creative energy, sharing their unique imaginative insights, not competing, but collaborating towards a single grand artistic endeavor. The resulting creation would undoubtedly transcend what any one of them could achieve alone. This is precisely what happens within a true mastermind group. Diverse perspectives, when harmonized, become catalysts for entirely new imaginative solutions. One member's synthetic imagination, rich with specific knowledge, can spark an entirely new creative idea in another, leading to breakthroughs that would have remained elusive in isolation. The individual imagination acts as a powerful searchlight, but the mastermind's collective imagination functions as a broad, illuminating floodlight, revealing pathways and possibilities previously unseen by any single beam. Think of the legendary alliances Hill studied, such as the transformative partnership between Andrew Carnegie and his inner circle. Carnegie was a titan of industry, but his imagination was amplified, refined, and executed through the combined imaginative power of his chosen mastermind. Each individual contributed their unique mental faculties, their particular slant of imagination, towards the singular purpose of industrial dominance and wealth creation. Henry Ford, another of Hill's subjects, surrounded himself with brilliant minds, not just for their technical expertise, but for their ability to collectively imagine solutions to manufacturing challenges that were considered insurmountable at the time. Their collective imaginative canvas became vast, allowing them to paint pictures of mass production, efficiency, and market reach that reshaped an entire era. The power here is not merely in sharing ideas, it is in the fusion of imaginative energy. When minds are in harmony, they vibrate at a higher frequency, creating an atmosphere conducive to receiving original thought and inspiration from infinite intelligence. The barriers of individual limitation begin to dissolve. What one person might dismiss as impossible, another's imagination might immediately perceive as a solvable puzzle. The interplay of questions, suggestions, and perspectives within the group acts as a perpetual motion machine for imaginative expansion, continuously feeding and stimulating both synthetic and creative capacities within each member. This shared mental real estate becomes a super collider of ideas, where concepts are born, refined, and accelerated into tangible plans with astonishing speed and precision. So, consider this actionable step. Identify just one individual in your life whose vision complements yours, someone who shares a similar burning desire or whose unique perspective could illuminate new imaginative pathways for your definite chief aim. Schedule a dedicated imagination session. Not a casual chat, but a focused, judgment-free space. The objective is not to critique, but to purely, openly, and collaboratively brainstorm, to dream together, to push the boundaries of what each of you thought possible. Allow your imaginations to intermingle, to build upon each other, to expand beyond individual limits. Witness how this collective canvas allows you to paint pictures of success that are richer, bolder, and more detailed than you could ever conceive alone. This is the secret to leveraging the power of collective thought, to amplify your imaginative potential, and to accelerate your journey towards your most ambitious goals. We have traversed the landscape of imagination, from its origin as a sixth sense to its dual engines, and witnessed its amplified power within a mastermind. Yet even the most meticulously forged, definite chief aim, galvanized by collective genius, will inevitably encounter friction. Obstacles will emerge. Resistance will surface. The path to achievement is rarely a straight, unblemished line. It is often fraught with detours, unexpected barriers, and moments that test the very fiber of your resolve. This is the crucible where mere wishful thinking dissolves, and true imaginative mastery is forged. This segment addresses precisely that critical phase. The persistence loop, where imagination serves as the inexhaustible fuel that burns through every form of resistance. The conventional understanding of persistence often equates it with sheer brute force, an unyielding struggle against adversity through willpower alone. While willpower is undeniably essential, Hill's deeper insight reveals that true persistence is not merely the stubborn refusal to quit. It is the continuous reimagining of the desired outcome, a relentless reaffirmation of your definite chief aim, even in the face of overwhelming setbacks. It is the unwavering maintenance of the mental blueprint, despite every external contradiction. When a challenge arises, the untrained mind sees an insurmountable wall. The mind trained in Hill's philosophy sees an opportunity to engage a deeper imaginative process. Consider this. An obstacle is simply a temporary discord between your current reality and your imagined future. If you allow your imagination to be dominated by the obstacle itself, by its magnitude, its difficulty, its potential for failure, then you are, in essence, abandoning your definite chief aim and substituting it with a vision of defeat. The power of imagination, being neutral, will then dutifully begin to manifest that vision of defeat. True persistence, therefore, means refusing to entertain the image of the obstacle as permanent or insurmountable. Instead, you must intensify your imaginative projection of the desired outcome, seeing yourself not merely attaining the goal, but overcoming the specific obstacle that currently stands in your way. This proactive engagement of imagination goes far beyond passively hoping the problem will disappear. It involves vividly envisioning the successful navigation through the challenge. You imagine the specific steps you take to bypass it, the creative solutions you discover to dissolve it, the unexpected resources that appear to circumvent it. You literally project yourself beyond the immediate difficulty into the state of accomplishment, with the obstacle already resolved. This internal rehearsal, this consistent imaginative reaffirmation, strengthens your inner resolve, cultivating an unshakable faith that the goal will be achieved, because you have already witnessed its successful completion in the theater of your mind. Imagine your definite chief aim as a distant star, your guiding light. Your imagination acts as an unfailing compass, constantly orienting you towards that destination. When storms gather, when you encounter dense fog, or when seemingly impenetrable mountains rise before you, the compass does not break. It does not change its reading. It continues to point true north. Your imagination functions similarly. It does not deny the existence of the storm or the mountain. Rather, it provides the consistent, unwavering direction needed to navigate through them. It constantly reorients your mental focus, ensuring that even amidst detours, setbacks, or moments of apparent lost bearings, the ultimate destination remains brightly illuminated in your inner vision. This sustained imaginative focus prevents you from being swept off course by the winds of discouragement or the currents of doubt. This internal reinforcement mechanism is critical. Every time you consciously choose to imagine the successful overcoming of an obstacle, you are feeding your subconscious mind with a powerful instruction set. The subconscious, being the mechanism that translates thought into action and reality, will then begin to orchestrate circumstances, attract ideas, and inspire the necessary actions to bring that imagined solution into your physical experience. It creates an internal momentum, an unstoppable force of belief that eventually bends external reality to conform to your dominant mental image. This cultivates an inner certainty, an imperviousness to external discouragement, because you fundamentally know the outcome, having already experienced it in your mind. Therefore, when the inevitable difficulties arise, challenge yourself. Do you permit your imagination to be consumed by the problem, abandoning the magnificent blueprint you have meticulously forged? Or do you, with an act of supreme mental discipline, intensify your imaginative projection of successful resolution? This is the ultimate test of your imaginative mastery. It is here, in the relentless, persistent, and unwavering application of your imaginative faculty to every single impediment, that you not only conquer the obstacle, but transcend your former limitations, proving that the fire of a definite purpose, fed by an unyielding imagination, can burn through anything. Type 1 to write the next topic or type the changes you want. We have traversed the landscape of imagination, from its origin as a sixth sense to its dual engines, and witnessed its amplified power within a mastermind. We have even explored how it fuels persistence, guiding us through inevitable obstacles. Now, having grasped these foundational principles, we arrive at the culmination, the final charge. This is where accumulated knowledge transforms into decisive action, where the potential within you is fully awakened to claim your destiny. This final segment is a powerful call to total empowerment, urging you to wield your imagination as the ultimate architect of your life. Your present reality, every circumstance you experience, every outcome you witness, is nothing more and nothing less than a direct reflection of your dominant imaginative thoughts. This is a profound and at times unsettling truth. It implies an immense personal responsibility. If your current life does not align with your deepest desires, then the first, most crucial inquiry must be directed inward. What reality have you been consistently, perhaps even unconsciously, allowing yourself to imagine? What blueprints have you been feeding your subconscious mind? The external world is merely a mirror, dutifully reflecting the inner landscape you have cultivated. The time for passive observation, for merely hoping for change, has passed. The era of conscious, deliberate creation has arrived. You possess the master key. You understand that imagination is not merely idle dreaming. It is a powerful sixth sense, a direct conduit to universal intelligence. You comprehend its dual engines, the synthetic for intelligent assembly, the creative for breakthrough innovation. You know how to use the forge of your mind to sculpt your definite chief aim into a multisensory, emotionally charged reality. You are aware of the insidious anti-imagination of fear and doubt, and you have learned the counter-strategies to dismantle its power. You have glimpsed the exponential amplification of imagination within a harmonious mastermind. And crucially, you now understand that persistence is not just brute force, but the continuous, unwavering reimagining of your success, even in the face of daunting obstacles. All of these principles converge now, empowering you with a profound choice. You can continue to allow circumstances to dictate your internal landscape, reacting to life's ebb and flow, constantly adjusting to external pressures. Or you can choose to become the master architect, to stop reacting to life and, instead, start creating it, with absolute purpose and unwavering conviction. This is not about wishful thinking. This is about disciplined thinking, disciplined feeling, and disciplined action, all rooted in the fertile ground of a consciously directed imagination. The question that now burns before you is this: what is the one thing, the single most important element of your definite chief aim, that you will begin to vividly imagine today? Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Will you visualize your financial abundance, feeling the security and freedom it brings? Will you see your ideal relationships flourishing, experiencing the joy and connection they offer? Will you picture your professional triumph, hearing the accolades and feeling the immense satisfaction of purpose fulfilled? Whatever it is, dedicate yourself to this imaginative act with all the sensory and emotional intensity you can muster. Make it so real in your mind that your subconscious has no choice but to begin its tireless work of bringing it into physical manifestation. This journey is a continuous cycle of imagining, believing, acting, and achieving. It demands vigilance, courage, and an unshakable faith in the power of your own mind. It demands that you stand guard at the gates of your thoughts, allowing entry only to those that serve your highest purpose. It is your inherent right and your profound responsibility to wield this power. What will you begin to vividly imagine today? Share your commitment, your burgeoning vision, in the comments below. Let your declaration be a further act of solidification, affirming your intent to the universe and to yourself. If this message has ignited a spark within you, if you are ready to seize control of your destiny and wield your mind's master key, Then like this video to acknowledge that profound shift. Subscribe for more transformative insights that will continue to guide your path to mastery, and hit the notification bell so you never miss your next blueprint for undeniable success. For truly, the only limitations that exist in your life are those you permit to reside within the boundaries of your own mind. The choice and the power have always been yours.